Sound check. Let's see real quick if the sound is working. Sounds good. Sound check is there. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you guys all coming back today. It's not going to be just Autel. It's going to be everything else. Most likely the drones of 2021. The ones that I'm actually looking forward to. It is freaking hot right now. And I wanted to give a shout out to Don Stites. Don Stites, I bought something from him to give away today in today's live stream sometime down the road. And he sent me one of those small little Roman coins. Thank you, Don. I really, really, really appreciate that. Super nice gesture. I'll definitely going to find a place for it somewhere in my studio over here. And welcome back, everybody. I see you ready to get Hot Rod in the house. We have Alpha 9 Drone in the house. We have Mike Miller, Yo Phelps. What's up, everybody? I hope that everybody who actually wants something from me besides Yo Phelps, who actually confirmed that he got it. Eddie Gray, what's up, my man? Adam J, I hope you got your filters. And I sent out something else to other people, like I think it was the lifter mount for the Evo 2 controller. And Pixel Air, what's up, my man? Aloha to Germany. Oh, Germany. It's got to be like 1 a.m. right now over there. So it's like super late. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about the drones of 2021. If you guys have any drones that you guys can think of at this time that I might have not mentioned, then just let me know in the chat right over here. We have Jedediah K. Aloha, brother. What's up, my man? I hope you got the car. So, and yeah, I got to actually play around today a little bit with the new Triple Tech tablet. Triple Tech sent me a tablet, and it's the new 7-inch Pro. And I'm totally spoiled. That thing is so good. And then I actually got to talk with the guys of Skyfire. And Johnny actually was so nice to produce a mount for it, which he pretty soon, I think, will also offer in the store. If you own already a Triple Tech and you own already a Skyfire Aerial, he will be making a mount that is specifically for that. More to that in the review that I'm going to be posting probably by next week sometime. Jack of all trades, what's up, my man? I hope you got your lifter mount. So, yes, he did. He did get his lifter mount. I appreciate that. Thanks for the confirmation. So, pretty much 2020 has rolled it up, summed it up pretty much that Autel Evo 2 in its price class up there and image quality and everything has boosted out pretty much everybody else in that area. I don't think any Mavic was as good as that. In the price range lower, in the $800 one, the Mavic Air 2 took the spot on that. It was the king of drones. And then at the end of last year, they released the Mavic Mini 2, which was pretty good because it was just like a Parrot and Off. It's just a mini with 4K, and it has OcuSync 2 and all that stuff. So very, very good drones. But 2021 also had in the beginning remote ID. So what is there to expect? We have Elvis Camilo. What's up, Elvis? How you doing, my man? So we have new drones, and remote ID was announced. So with remote ID coming in, I'll get to that a little bit later after we look through most of the drones that I'm actually looking forward to in 2021. And yeah, let's get started. Let me share the screen right over here. I have a screen that I have prepared for this. The very first drone that I'm actually looking forward to share, the first one on my list, which is not really that affordable, but still I'm looking forward to it. What other channels or other big boys gonna come up with is the, hey, what happened there? Something is not right. It shows flickering on my screen. Add to stream. There you go. Now it's fixed. Okay. So which would be the X Dynamics Evolve 2. It is a bigger drone. It runs around in a price range of $3,700. That's a lot of money, guys. That's awful amount of money. But it sort of like falls in between the Phantom Mavic Air 2 Evolve, Autel Evo 2 and the DJI Inspire, because it has sort of like the same concept right over here. If you look right here, there's going to be a possibility of you to be able to have professional Micro Four Thirds camera system, which in my eyes, they could also implement in Autel Evo 2 with just having a Micro Four Thirds on top. Since they have an interchangeable gimbal system, which is pretty much the same as the Autel Evo 2. And it does come with an enlarged Micro Four Thirds camera sensor equipped with a 4/3 that the Astra MFT benefits from a smaller crop factor, improvements in low light and higher resolution, delivering professional grade footage. The large 4.63 pixels is up to the 12 megapixel sensor, result in better image quality and dynamic range with less noises. So besides that, I would have to interrupt that real quick because I actually invited a special guest today, and I think most of you guys have seen it in the description. So I will have to take off this, put on my headphones so that we don't have no echo. And let's see who randomly popped in here. You see what I did there? We have Mr. DadRandom. What's up, my man?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you great. How about you guys? You guys can hear him great?
Yeah. Check with the audio. I am approaching the border.
You're approaching a border somewhere. So he checking in from his car. That's how advanced DadRandom is. He just checked it from his car, just like that.
Great jumping states here.
So he's jumping states, and his audio is jumping too.
And I'm in the biggest polygamous town city in Hilldale.
So you're breaking up.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because your reception is really, really sketchy over there. He's probably going somewhere to Mexico right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit, I can't believe that they got LTE in this.
So something about LTE. They have internet over there, but it's probably like coconut wireless right now in Hawaii. Sending smoke signals. So
getting info?
Yeah, I barely can hear you. It's like really chopped up.
Yeah. So I tried to turn my volume.
It's still not really working. It's like I see the picture perfectly. Yeah. It's just the audio itself.
I've done live streams before with that. I don't want to hold. man. I don't want to be freaking holding the phone.
You're gonna get pulled over and you're gonna get a ticket, my friend.
This is, and if you think it,
If I could think what?
no,
No, it's not really working.
okay, at least worth the shot.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. If anything, try again later afterwards if you want. I'll be around.
Yeah, I've got about I've got about another 50.
About another 50 minutes before you reach home.
50.
50. Okay. Hopefully we're gonna see each other then. If you can make it a little bit before that. If not, I'll text you.
Yeah, up where we can hear each other, and so I can give you some input. Like I said, I went without visit. We got tomorrow. Usually I go on, but tomorrow's a Super Bowl. So
yeah, tomorrow's Super Bowl, so don't call me tomorrow.
Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
All right, that was DadRandom. I have to. I can't hear nothing. It's. I don't know. You guys probably can't hear nothing either. Hopefully we're gonna see him later on. So to get it back to, let's see, get it back to the Evolve 2. There we go. So we were at the enlarged Micro Four Thirds. So this is pretty much a camera system just like you know it from the Inspire. So with that being said, it has like those quick release propellers and all that stuff. It looks pretty huge. It looks pretty big. So it's pretty much like a cheaper version of the DJI Inspire 2 in my eyes. And what is really good though is when you look at this, you have two screens, and both screens come with, I think it was rated at 1,000 nits. So you have very bright screens, and you have two of them. You have two screens that you can actually touch screen. And it's implemented with the controller already. So there's no need to ask for a There's no need to ask afterwards for a smart controller. There's no need to do anything like it where you're going to be asking for, oh, I want an extra screen, because everything is going to be already implemented within this controller. So this would be one of the first drones that I'm pretty much looking forward to see if I would be able to buy it. Probably not, because it's very expensive. $3,700, and that does not include if you wanted like extra batteries and stuff like that. But it looks very, very, very promising. So I'm looking definitely forward to that one. Let's see what the chat is doing right now and what we have here. So we had, what did DadRandom do this time that he's on the run to Mexico? I don't know. I mean, this guy is always on the run. Nah, he's a teacher, so he's always busy. He promised me that he would come by today, but then something came up, so he told me about it. So he said he might randomly pop in. So then we have Mike Miller over here. If you drop your keys in molten lava, you got to just let them go. There's no other choice. If you drop them into molten lava, that's it. Those keys gonna be gone, my friend. Ricky Britton, hello, brother. I loved your video on Trip to the Snow. You are a rock star. I'm not a rock star. I'm just enjoying life. But hey, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I made a video about snow in Hawaii. So it was really hard to breathe over there. It was like 14,000 feet within 2 hours to reach up there. And man, my 4-year-old was all over the place, throwing snow everywhere and running all over. And me, I was flying my drone, and I was like thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I'm gonna pass out pretty soon," because it was really hard to breathe. So yeah, let me look for the next screen that we have here, which brings me up actually to one thing that I might even consider picking up, and that is the DJI digital FPV system that is announced, that is going to come out in general. When you look at it, it's supposed to come out sometime in March, which includes, it looks like a 5-inch FPV drone. It does come with a controller, and it does come with the goggles. So you have the whole set, so you can probably pick up, you know, how you get that fly more combo and all that stuff. So it runs in the range between the $1,200 and $1,500, depending on which package you're going to pick up. That's what DJI does. The reason why I said that I might be interested in picking it up is because it has 2 cameras on it that are actually 2-axis cameras. So you know how when they usually mount the FPV drones and they put the camera in like 140 or 45-degree angle, it's simply because the drone tilts forward while she flies. This one, the camera does that for you. It keeps the horizon level in that mode where it always keeps the picture there. How does that work out with flips and things and, you know, the spirals that they do and the power loops and all that stuff? I guess that you're going to be able to lock it in place somehow when you go into a different mode, because it's going to have obstacle avoidance. An FPV drone that has obstacle avoidance. Pretty much FPV, I mean, DJI is going into that step where you have a regular drone mixed with FPV capabilities, where you can change the mode and it's going to go over. And we all seen that DJI is usually pretty successful in that stuff. So they must have been working on that for a while. And if I can play this here, let's see. Let's play this video right over here. Of course, it's a commercial video. They're going to make it look like super good for yourself. And let's see if we can share. Can you guys hear it? I don't know if you can hear it. No sound. Okay, you guys don't have no sound. So you guys are just staring at me like for a minute. Okay, so if it doesn't have sound, then I thought there was somewhere in the share option that you can change that. Let me see. Share the screen. No. Share screen. Oh, right there. Share the audio too. There you go. All right, let's try this again. So.
Absolute freedom of flying like a bird is a long-held dream of mankind. Flying FPV drones is a thrilling experience and brings you closer to this than anything else.
Today's analog video signal only offers low video quality, resulting in an overall poor FPV experience.
Although deemed an impossible task, DJI has developed a new digital FPV transmission system with low latency. The system consists of 4 highly integrated components. The lightweight and compact DJI FPV Air unit is easy to install and features an internal HD video recorder. The robust FPV HD camera features a 2.1mm lens. The FPV goggles are comfortable to wear and display the video feed in HD resolution in super smooth 120 frames per second. An integrated video recorder lets you capture what the pilot sees on the ground. The 8-channel remote controller is configurable via the FPV goggles. It also integrates the DJI HDL remote control protocol.
Oh. I guess it's not working really good if I have to stream. Anyways, so yeah, this is pretty much like the DJI goggles. You guys can check it out on the website. It's on the DJI website itself. If you punch in, I think it was DJI FPV system, and you're going to be able to watch that trailer. And it is pretty good because I don't have no pictures of the drone itself, but I've seen it on somebody else's channel, I think, before. And DJI is going to come out with an entirely new system that is completed with everything, which has the drone, which has the controller, and which has the goggles. So I'm actually looking forward to it because it has those different modes where it is, one is supposed to be a beginner mode, where it still does like just what a GPS drone does. And pretty much the good part about it is that you beginner mode and it does just that GPS kind of stuff. It has obstacle avoidance, and it's going to have it sort of like that you can get into that whole thing. Then there's supposed to be an advanced mode or an expert mode. And with that advanced and expert mode, you're going to be able to actually already start doing FPV. That includes doing flips and tricks and all those goodies, like literally everything. You're gonna be able to pop up with all kinds of stuff. So you're gonna be trying loops and all that stuff. Of course, you're gonna be crashing the drone, guarantee. It's FPV. So, but if you have these things already lined up that I know how to hook up another drone to it, guarantee that FPV goggle system together with the drone itself in the package that they're going to be releasing. As I said, I think it's going to be March or April, one of the two, where DJI is going to release that whole system. So, and that is a complete system, and that is pretty stoked for that. That's like $1,500 that I'm actually willing to invest, even though I'm looking for a competitor, which brings me up to the biggest question in the world that was actually raised. Is there going to be another Phantom 5, guys? I'm not sure, but Drone DJ's website showed that there were rumors of a Phantom 5 that is supposed to come out, which includes DJI Phantom 5 will have obstacle avoidance covering all 6 sides of the drones. The base camera on the DJI Phantom is rumored to have the Hasselblad branded 1-inch sensor and 3x optical zoom. Does this mean that there will be a Pro version? Probably. Expect the Pro version to feature the camera with the interchangeable lenses 16, 24, 35, and 50 mil, of which we have seen prototypes in early 2018. So Phantom 5 is probably one of the options that is supposed to come out for the DJI series. And besides that, there's supposed to be also talks about the Mavic 3 in sometime September, August, September, around that area. For me personally, I'm not quite sure if DJI is really going to do it, but why not? I mean, what? Technically, why would they? I mean, look back at 2020, they brought out Mavic Air 2. They sold a whole bunch of those. They brought out, at the end of the year, they brought out DJI Mavic Mini 2, and they sold a whole bunch of those. Now they're running into that whole thing where Remote ID was announced, which is going to take effect pretty much in 2023. So 2021, if anything, if they really want to make money and people are still going to pick it up, if they're going to bring out the Mavic 3 this year, it's probably going to be on later on this year, which in my eyes is probably going to be the biggest competitor to the Autel Evo 2 Pro, based on that price class, because the Autel Evo 2 Pro is probably, hopefully this year, is going to drop a little bit in price, probably about 100 or 200 bucks. And so that people are going to be able to afford the 6K version already for like $1,700. And I think that the 8K version throughout this year is probably going to go down somewhere between 1,200 to 1,300 bucks. So I'm looking forward to the FPV system because I am interested sort of in FPV, but I'm not really interested in FPV either, because I have seen a lot of guys that actually reverted over to FPV, which also brings me over to another competitor that we have, which is the Skydio 2. Skydio 2 probably is going to bring out the Skydio 2 Pro, and most of the time, these guys, all these drone manufacturers, because of that remote ID stuff, mark my words, probably in 2021, most of these guys are going to be featuring sub 250 gram drones. And that brings me to FPV, because a lot of those drones in FPV, they weigh a little bit less than that. And I've seen people like Original Dovo, they have created really, really good systems that are 250 grams, I mean, sub 250 grams. And that sort of like is where this year's drone releases pretty much are going to aim at. And I think that's where it will be going to, because when you look at the market itself with remote ID, now manufacturers will have to develop something come up with integration into the remote ID. They're not quite sure if they want it where the drone is going to submit where the location is at and where the location of the pilot is at. And then some manufacturers actually said, oh, we want it that the remote is actually doing it. So we are not quite sure about the consequences of this whole remote ID thing. And then plus, just the other day in the news on somebody's live stream, I think, I'm not sure, but I think it was on Ken Herring's one, I seen that there was somebody there, that there was a senator who tried to slip in a bill that was really, really bad for drone pilots, which included commercialization for taking off and landing. So AirMap is one of those apps that I've seen already cruising around in the forums where a lot of people said AirMap is pushing for having it that whenever you take off and you have to hook up with AirMap first together with your other app that you're running to fly your drone, and it's going to charge you each time you take off with your drone. So every time you want to take off with your drone, you want to fly around and all that stuff, you inquire the permission, they're going to charge you for it. So this hobby is going to get a lot more expensive. So that's the reason why plenty of people are, it's pretty much the drone market is pushing towards commercialization. So it's a lot about people becoming 107 pilots or 107 certified pilots or operators, drone operators. What do you call it anyways? Operators? Pilots? What are drone operators? I mean, for me, I'm a drone pilot. But you have a lot of guys such as like former military pilots and all that stuff that are experienced in flying aircrafts, and they actually utilizing those guys to operate bigger drones that we have seen already for search and rescue and all that stuff. And those drones are getting bigger and bigger, and a lot of manufacturers are pushing towards that. I mean, you've seen Autel came out with the Autel Evo 2, and with the Autel Evo 2, shortly after, now they came up with the Dragonfish. The Dragonfish is a $150,000 monster. Looks like a plane, but has the capability of drone characteristics, such as vertical takeoff and all that. So, with that being said, it's a $150,000 drone. I can't afford it, you know, and unless you're Bill Gates, and you can't afford it either, you know. So, a lot of people will be looking towards like the sub 250 category, looking at the Mavic Mini 2 and just becoming hobbyists to do certain things, and not even if they have a monetized channel like I do right now. So most of the time they don't even care about the 107 license. So if you don't want to be a 107 certified person, all you have to do is go sub 250. But you know what happens after that? You go sub 250, and most likely the government is going to say, hey, we get all these sub 250 guys, we should charge them as well, because the government always wants money. You know, that's pretty much what it is. Let me go through the chat real quick and see what's going on. Refresh, the V2 goggles are on Amazon with a February 29th release date. Thank you very much, Mike Miller. And then we have Hot Rod in Daytona, 4/3 or go home. Yes, 4/3. I would love to see that Autel is going to come up with a 4/3 micro 4/3 camera for the Autel Evo 2 series, which is called the series. So they started it off with the 8K, 6K dual. Hopefully they're going to come up with a micro 4/3 or interchangeable lens system. Even if that system would cost like $1,000, as long as it's better for photography and videography, I believe it's capable of doing things like that. So I wouldn't see why not. I mean, come on, guys. It's a micro 4/3, you know. This drone can carry a heavy payload, so I think micro 4/3 would be great. So we have Ricky Britton right over here. Ricky, hey brother, is that the Triple Tech Pro setting there on the only weakness I found? The speakers could be louder. Yeah, more to that in the review. It is the Triple Tech. Like I said before, it is the Triple Tech setup right here. Just showing you guys real quick. Triple Tech right here. Hey, come on. So there you see it. And you know already what I was flying just recently. So I was flying it for my review. It is amazing. It's a really, really good tablet. It's heavy as hell, but it's really, really, really nice. And like I said, Skyfire made a mount just for me, for send it to me, for try it out together with the Triple Tech over here. So I'm going to be pumping out a review on this thing, on this bad boy, and I think you guys are going to like it, really. So far what I can tell you is that if you haven't looked into getting a tablet and you want the creme of the creme or creme de la creme set up for your Autel Evo 2, pick up the Skyfire Aerial, pick up the mount that is available for the Triple Tech, and pick up the Triple Tech. That makes your smart controller right there. It makes this controller feel so much superior. I took off the other day, I took off the Skyfire mount and stuff and just tried to fly. Oh, hell no. I'm not going to fly it just like that. And now that I use the Triple Tech, I'm not really inclined anymore to play around with my phone either. So I would have to maybe convince my wife that hopefully I can buy one Triple Tech tablet. Let's see. I wish Autel put in the market a 250 grams drone. I think they will. I'm pretty sure they will work on that. I mean, they had the Autel Evo 1 and they had a lot of time. But then in between, the DJI Mavic Mini came out, and I think that was the first time that DJI actually thought of sub 250, and nobody thought it would be possible. But I think Autel is capable of doing it. You know what I mean? Like the sensor, I mean, you look at it that way. It's a sub 250-gram drone. It's not like you're going to have a 1-inch sensor on that sucker, you know? It's going to be a smaller sensor, and yeah, you're going to have 4K and stuff, but then you have smaller sensor side. And we all know already these days, if you didn't know, sensor determines image quality, pretty much. That's what it is. Sensor size, the bigger the sensor, the better it is. That's why people run around with full-frame cameras, such as the Sony A7 III and all that. So that is pretty much what you're looking at, the sensor size. So if you want the subcategory 2.5, I mean 250 grams, then you're looking at a small sensor, but you still have the fun to play around. You fly around, you're a hobbyist, you don't have to register the damn thing, you can fly wherever you want. You still fall within the FAA rules of the 400 feet ceiling and stuff within the United States, but other than that, you don't have to worry about much about anything, except for you can't really use a 200 sub 250 for commercialization. Like for commercial stuff, you should be already 107 certified, you know, if you really want to aim for that. Other than that, I think these guys are a dying breed, like the $2,000 quality kind of drones and all that stuff. I mean, these guys are almost like too pro. They're like prosumer, but they're like almost in a professional level already, the way they film, in my eyes. I use it a lot for my clients, and they're totally happy with it. And it's 4K. So I can film in 4K, and I downscale it to 1080p. I can punch in without loss of resolution, and my clients love it, you know, because most of the footage that I deliver these days is 1080p. And that's for clients, unless they really request for the 4K, and that's money. So I'll charge more, you know. So what else do we have here? Senator Mike Lee from Utah. Basically, local taxes will be imposed by cities when you want to fly. It didn't pass. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lee. I appreciate that, Lee F. You just said it. So there was a Senator Mike Lee who tried to, from Utah. That's where DadRandom is from. I wonder why and he's running for the border right now. No, I'm just playing. So basically, local taxes will be imposed by cities when you want to fly. It didn't pass. So I guess Mike Lee tried to put something out there, shove it somehow in there, and I seen it quick kind only while I was at work, and somebody is having a live stream, and I was on my break. I checked it out, and I looked at it, and I realized, hey, what? And then they said they wanted to submit it that night already. So apparently it didn't go through. Thank God, because other than that, they would have charged taxes on you as soon as you register. And then you probably, for every single time that you want to go fly or whatever, you're going to end up paying taxes. You know, like we don't pay enough taxes already. We pay taxes for our cars, for our motorcycles, for everything. Now they like us pay taxes for the drones. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for clarifying that. I appreciate it. Mike Miller said, thank God. Yes, me too. So Pixel Air said February 29th. February 29th? Oh, that's pretty early. I don't think it's going to be February 29th. Well, probably the goggles, like he said, the V2 goggles right here are on Amazon with the February 29th release date. So that's just the goggles itself. But I think the DJI FPV system itself, including the drone, the controller, and the goggles all together, runs between $1,200 and $1,500, and I think it's supposed to come out sometime between March and April, something like that. So let's see. We have a random drop in.
Let's see. Are we working yet?
Are we working yet? It sounds way better than before.
Hey, good.
There we go.
Hey, I'm in civilization finally. wasn't that far outside of it.
So you made it through Mexico and you find it back in civilization. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the area I live in, I'm at the mouth of the Zion Canyon.
I'm living on a rock, bro. I'm surrounded by water. I don't know nothing about Utah.
You're surrounded by beautiful country. That's all I know.
Yes,
beautiful
I am.
Mountains and tropical flowers.
Yes, and I actually got to see snow, and I almost passed out going there.
And you can see snow. You get all senses taken care of.
Yes, because out of the 13 climate zones we have in the world, 8 are on my island. How's that? That's crazy. So what you up to?
Let's see. Let me try this. Can you hear this?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear this?
Oh, it's loud. It's louder.
Can you hear that?
Yes, I can.
All right. We're not going to do that. Again?
Yes, I can hear you. This is way better. It's more smooth.
Okay. We'll just, I was just trying to get it so, but yeah, I've been up to just buying tons of quads. I've been buying lots of sub 250 digital digital quads. I've been kind of into the long range, customizable kind of thing, and it's kind of like the best way to explain it is kind of like, you know, just customizing anything, like, you know, that you like, skateboards or whatever. It's a lot of fun. It's a kind of a cool part of drones that just makes it one more step, I guess, the direction that I want to go. Some people, it's the photography side. To me, it's more I really like the, you know, I like the, you know, the kind of the rush side, the you know,
So the
the flying
FPV
experience.
kicks their adrenaline that you put in there. So you're adrenaline junkie now.
Yeah, yeah. But there hasn't been a lot of action when it comes to, you know, the GPS quads are, you know, they're few and far between right now, and so this kind of allows me to feed my need for difference. I get bored quick is my problem. I get in with the little micro quads. You can buy a ton of them. You could just freaking just keep adding one once a month, and your need is taken care of.
Yeah. So what do you fly mostly? Do you fly like a 5-inch, 7-inch? What do you fly?
Mostly sub 250 is what I'm going for, because there's a huge market there. Not that I think that if you're going to stay, and you know, we were looking at the future of quadcopter flying, if they're going to keep the 250 rule and make it, you know, easy for people, say maybe they create we were talking about on my live stream, below 200 feet, they would federalize that, meaning that states would have responsibility of taking care of their parks below 200 feet. It'd be recreational. And then if you're below 250, with your quad size, you're pretty much flying for free. You don't have anybody telling you what to do.
Yeah, so I mentioned that earlier because I was going through the drones that I'm looking forward to. So I went through already that Skydio probably is going to come up with a sub 250 quad. Then I looked at the X-Dynamics Evolve, which is like almost like an Inspire 2. And then also I was looking into the rumors that are going around right now that Mavic 3 is going to come out in September sometime. The only difference that I can pretty much imagine, though, to make Autel Evo 2 look bad is probably 4K 120 FPS, and that's pretty much it. Because what you're gonna do, 12K, you know what I mean? Like, so it's gonna be just some feature like that where 4K 120 FPS comes out. So processing speed, power, you're pretty much looking into that, because GPS quads itself, they all pretty much do the same thing these days. That's why I think that this year, 2021, with the announcement of remote ID, and lucky thing that Senator Mike Lee thing didn't go through, so we don't get taxed for flying. So therefore, I think the sub 250 market is the market to go to right now, and that FPV is pretty much, because DJI is releasing in March or April, they're going to release that DJI system, which comes completely with a drone, a controller, and the goggles. So I'm thinking that is pretty much the future that we're all going to be ending up with, is FPV flying and sub 250 category.
It's really interesting that DJI put out their FPV drone, but it's not a sub 250 drone, you know?
Yeah, I just lost picture of you. I can hear you, but I lost picture of you.
You lose picture?
Yes.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Are we still there?
Yes, now you're sideways. Oh, there we go. There you go.
That's my fault.
Your phone went into sleep, huh?
Yeah, I gotta leave it alone. That's the rule of live stream, period. Once you get it going, don't touch anything. but
yeah.
But I'm interested in their FPV concept. I think anything moving forward that gets people excited about that, because I really encourage people that are on the fence, you know, and they're thinking that FPV is, because I was the same way. I mean, I was afraid of making that jump, because I thought I was too old. I wasn't going to be able to figure it out. I didn't want to look stupid. And it's just like anything, you just practice a little bit, and then the hobby part started to hit me. And then people told me, they said, You know, once you start this thing, you go down the dark rabbit hole. They're like, you're never going to come back. And that's not true, because I loved flying for example, my Evo. I know you're an Evo guy. And when I flew that Evo, that was as good as any DJI product. And it even was better in a lot of respects for some of the things. I'd never touched an Evo controller. I loved the smoothness of it. And then the video quality was absolutely like brain dead easy to basically put up.
Yeah.
If you just took the 4K off of it, and it was just amazing. And I didn't even get a chance to go to the 6K version with the 1-inch sensor, so I can't imagine it being better.
Yeah.
And the only thing that pushes you away from that is the price point. And
Yeah.
that has improved.
Right now they improved it pretty good in my eyes.
Yeah.
To get started with this whole thing, because you look at the Cinewhoop systems that they have on the market right now with everything, like it runs around $2,000. DJI just flopped the ball right there and said, hey, we're gonna bring out a system that is like $1,500, and it includes a drone that is actually interchangeable modes, where you can fly as a novice mode, which gives you total GPS quad characteristics, and it's gonna have obstacle avoidance. And if you want to go into the I don't give a hell damn about anything mode, then you can just do it actually is a 6S battery in there as well, so that's the cool part. So it's going to have a lot of power
in there.
So, and if you go into regular GPS mode, I've seen that somebody said it's going to be flying around the 30-minute mark, while if you go into the balls to the walls kind of mode, then you're going to be automatically ending up having like 15 minutes of flight time. That is still a lot more than most of the FPV drones out there. Most of the FPV drones out there that you build yourself, if you're not that tech savvy like me, I don't know how to solder stuff. If I'm going to solder something together, I'm probably going to have 2 motherboards together afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I'm not really a solder guy either. And you can do a little bit if you want, but I'm kind of like a plug and play guy like you.
Yeah.
I mean, but with FPV now, they've made it plug and play. I mean, you can actually buy a pre-configured, like the last drone I just bought, I got yesterday. It's a diatone 3-inch. It's tiny, and that thing, will fly 80 miles an hour. It has all replaceable parts, so it's basically taking screws out and moving arms. Like I broke an arm, and then I broke a lens because I didn't have the lens protected. The lens cost me $8. Both 2 replacement arms, so I bought an extra, were $3 a piece.
Wow.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
But if I
that is pretty
DJI
good.
Drone, or
but that's why I was thinking that most of the time you look at it that way. Most guys are now reverting over to FPV a lot of times, and when I watch FPV drones fly around with people who develop the flow, you developed a really good flow from the first time that I watched your videos. So so it's like when they develop a really good flow, then it looks insane. I mean, the videos that you can get out of it is really good. And then if you mix that up together with one of these GPS quads and have like some stable images in between and just mix it all up, anybody can become almost like a Sam Calder right there. Sam Calder just was 2 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So
I think they're trying to do that. I think DJI is going to do it. I mean, most of the equipment I use is still DJI, by the way. The flight controllers that are in my drones are still DJI. The goggles I use, my actual control sticks are DJI. The only thing that's not DJI is the frame, the motors, and the ESC, the power system. Everything else is DJI, and then the camera. Now, Nebula mixed with Caddx, they basically put their own camera that's like a DJI air unit camera. They put that in the new generation of mini drones because it's lighter weight, because everything's about weight now. Lightweight, better batteries. And we're flying around. I put a Lion battery on a 4-inch, and I flew so long that I got bored. I flew for 7 minutes, then I landed, I
You got
checked the
bored?
film out, and then I launched it again on the same battery, and I flew for another 7 or 8 minutes. That's
Oh, wow.
just that's insane, you know. And when you're looking at FPV pilots, that's a lot of time. 7 minutes flying is it takes it takes a little bit of your adrenaline's pumping, your mind is working hard because you're trying to okay, what am I going to do next? You're thinking a lot. This is fun, so
Yeah.
I still I'm still looking for Autel to put out a smaller version, a sub 250. They can do it.
Yeah, they definitely can do it. I said it before too, that most likely in 2021, a lot of companies are going to be looking at it. Autel definitely going to be looking at it.
I'd be the first one to buy it.
Yeah, probably Skydio might be looking at it too, even though they have.
Yes, Skydio.
Yeah, they're a little bit on the autonomous kind of stuff where it follows you everywhere you go, and
there's a lot
like
of
somebody said in the chat
there.
earlier, it doesn't really fit within a sub 250 category, but to get on the market to sell some more stuff, I think sub 250 is the market to go with right now.
But there's a ton of government money out there that for research and development. There's government contracts, and because they're trying to push the Chinese out of American drone market, for national security, whatever reason they want to bring it up. But that's encouraged companies, and I think it's good for Autel. I think it's great for drone companies in America like Skydio to use that money to springboard into the next level. For the
Skydio on it gets away with a lot of stuff though, because it's assembled in the United States. It employs in the United States. It sells from the United States. So the U.S. Government is giving Skydio a lot of slack, I think. When you look at DJI is catching a lot of cracks because this whole spy thing and spy software kind of thing, and they're just worried that a hobbyist goes up there close to an area where he's not supposed to be, and he just went up there and he's probably filming some military base, and that information is being brought out with screenshots that he doesn't know that he took straight to the Chinese government. And I think that's what they're worried about. The same with mapping and stuff. When people are utilizing these drones, the drone can take pictures in between and they create 3D models. So therefore, if there's an invasion planned by China in the United States, you know what I mean? It's always about being scared of something, and the government is really good at it. So Mike Miller just said in here, the Crocodile Baby 4-inch quad will fly over 30 minutes with a 3,000 milliamp 4S battery. So that's 30 minutes of FPV where you bite your tongue that you hopefully don't crash it into any water. Did I lose you? I think I lost him. Yes, I lost him. Okay, I hope that he will be returning in a bit. So let me catch up on this thing real quick. So we have Lee F right here. Government always loves to impose fees. They do constantly, and it's horrible that they do that. I mean, but that's what the government does. You know what I mean? So 87 knots. Hey man, if you could do it again, would you buy the quad charger or another charger like the one that came with it? If I would have the chance to buy this one, you mean the hub charger? I wouldn't mind buying the hub. It's $90 or $80, but there's other chargers out there that I showed in my accessory video that are actually pretty good. They charge all 3 batteries or all 4 batteries at the same time, including the controller, including your phone or whatever else you have. And they're really good. A friend of mine has 2 of them, and he brings it constantly. So it charges way faster. Like sometimes this one, if I put it into blue mode, my batteries take up to like 2.5 hours or 3 hours, all 4 of them to charge back up. But I mean, it's the break that I take in between anyways to download my footage. So that's pretty much what it is. So yeah, I probably would buy, if I would have the money for it, I'd pick this up because it is from Autel. But if I don't have the money, whatever, I want to go cheaper and something that charges up faster, I'm probably gonna try it. And I would try another one, but that's personal preference. Yeah. Small sensors can produce outstanding images. Yes, the Mini proved that. The Mini definitely proved that. Let's see. Are you back?
Am I there?
Did it work for you, Dad?
Yeah, am I there? I can hear you. Okay, you hear me? Yeah, we should be okay. I'm in the middle of a big town.
Yes,
now,
we can hear you good too.
Yeah, lot of
So I'm
people
just going
there's
through, following through the chat right now.
yeah, oh yeah. No, I hear we're good. No, I was just thinking, you know, because we're getting into like, you know, we're getting into because everybody has a different like, a different need, and not everybody wants to do, you know, what I want to do, and that's another thing. And not everybody's gonna fly every day, you know. I think the big thing now that if you're a new pilot or a person that wants to transition, you have to think about whether you want a 107 or not. That's kind of the big thing. And I've definitely I'm past the 107 stuff now, and it's that even the testing for that has changed. So if you're going to go and test, you need to get into brand new testing material. A lot of the testing material out there right now is very old. It's dated, and it's not on the test. So even remote pilot 101 that claims to be on the cutting edge, they're not on the cutting edge anymore. I'm just telling you. The new test is different than the old test, and it's not as much knowledge based anymore. It's more scenario based. I think he did make that comment. I thought it was more difficult than a knowledge based test because there was a lot of subjectivity to it. So if you're thinking about going that way, and you want to kind of stay out of the hassle, I suggest 107 for sure. But I'm hoping that they create the environment for no 107, you know, sub 200 feet, and then weight class. And because I think that's safe. I think if you're flying a little sub 250 quad in a park, you're not going to cause any damage, and nobody cares, to be quite honest. If you're flying an Evo in a park, a small park, people notice. And not that that's a scary drone or bad or anything. It's just big.
Yeah.
And people equate big with dangerous. And so I think the quiet thing really helps that. But with the little race drones, with the little FPV quads, people look at them like they're little tiny bugs. They're like, oh, you know, you'll show it to grandma that walks by, and now she doesn't care because you let her touch it. You know, well, see how small this is. Now you can fly anywhere you want. You're not.
DadRandom just lets old ladies touch anything in the park.
Hey, you know what? I'm turning 53 this year, so
he's getting desperate. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the chat real quick right here, and we have Lee F says, "Where do you fly in Hawaii? Are there a lot of restrictions?" There are a lot of restrictions on most of the islands, like Maui and Oahu. Kauai doesn't have that many, and there's a lot of space to fly. Big Island has 5 restrictions, or 6 restrictions actually, which includes 3 airports, 2 military bases, and national parks. So it's the Big Island has a lot of room to fly, so you get a lot of space to fly. And even in the no-fly zones, like a drone like this, if I only go like 40 feet and I go up and I just film the clip a little bit, I'm not going to be in the way of any airways and all that stuff. And it usually takes me like a minute and I'm out of there. It's illegal to fly. It's a no-fly zone because it's close to the airport, but there's no way in hell that any manned aircraft is ever going to come around there. You know what I mean? I sometimes fly there.
The national park law was challenged, and the parks actually lost.
Oh yeah?
For filming in a park. So that doesn't count the flying part, but if you're filming, that's a big, huge win recently. So if you go to a national park, they used to harass you if you were doing any kind of filming, like you look like you were vlogging or something. Now they can't do that. They found that that they struck that rule down, so the parks can't get after you. I don't know how that's going to affect drones, but that's a good step forward with parks.
Over here, our national parks, the ranges are pretty cool. So if you go straight up and you tell them that what you're gonna intend to do, and as long as you stay away from common areas, they're pretty cool about it. Some are not, and some are really cool about it.
That's Hawaii.
So that's how I got to fly up on a mountain, because over there you get the telescopes and stuff, and it's actually not considered a no-fly zone, but it is a park of some sort, a state park, which is called the Mauna Kea State Park. So I talked to one of the rangers at the time I was up there, And he was like, as long as you don't fly over people and you don't crash it into any of the telescopes, I don't see no reason why not. You know,
Oh,
and
that's
then
awesome.
I told him, I said, I'm just gonna go down that way, and I'm gonna be maximum 400 feet, but I'm gonna be going that way away from the telescopes. And when I come back, I'm gonna drop it down low to like 250 or 200, so that I always can see it. And he said, okay, that's fine with me. So he was cool about it. You know what I mean? So that was pretty all right. So
It
that's
never
why
hurts to ask.
yeah, that exactly, and that's what I said. It never hurts to ask. And he said usually the reason why they don't really entice it or whatever, because there were no signs up there at that point at that park. There were no signs that there's no drones allowed. And so I just simply asked. I told him, hey, how about drone flying? I just want to fly it for a couple minutes, catch this snow and stuff on Hawaii for my personal YouTube channel. And he was like, it should be fine. You know, as long as you don't crash into anything or stay away from telescopes and you don't go too close or whatever. So he's just not trying to entice like the lava area and stuff. That's a national park. So they don't want nobody to fly there because they're afraid that if the drone drops down somewhere on the edge of the crater, that these dummies go after them and try to rescue their drone. You know what I mean? And then they fall in, and then you got the whole search and rescue. And what they're going to say, oh, yeah, we allowed him to fly the drone, you know. And I told him, no, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to tell you where I'm going to be flying. If you want to stand here at the same time, you can. You know, I don't have no problem doing it. So, and he said, no, you'll be fine.
Could you get good video outside of the crater? Or could you see it pretty good? Say you get up at night or in the evening?
No, I can't. It's because the areas where I would be able to access and then take off, I wouldn't be able to see my drone anymore. I either have bushes or trees in the way, or it's not high enough, or I'm already in the no-fly zone of the park ranger. So unless I have a visual observer, there is a path somewhere where you have to hike. And if I have to hike there at night, the lava rocks and stuff is very treacherous, so I'm not willing to risk any of that all my life to just get that footage. You know what I mean? So,
and we don't have to fly our drones everywhere.
Exactly. So I don't necessarily have to just catch it from the mountain, you know. So.
But can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna cut. Yeah, I'm gonna come up to a really bad area where I'm gonna cut out for like a minute.
Okay.
But I'm gonna probably say goodbye anyway, because I know
it's
annoying. But I'm glad we got a little bit of time. This was really, it's good, and I wanna get on your channel again if you let me back, where I'm not doing like driving and.
Of course, you're always welcome. You know that. You're my YouTube idol, my man.
No, I really appreciate you guys, and you got a really good channel, and like I said, you're very focused, and you got beautiful country to video, and you got a great personality for your streams. I love your technology.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. That's originally what got me to check your channel out. It was your artificial intelligence and how you add that to your stream. That is very unique and very cool.
I appreciate that, my friend. So I hope I see you next time. If anything, I'll message you.
Hey, and then Lewis, thank you so much, man.
To everybody, his link for his channel is in the description below. That's DadRandom for you right here. And thank you for coming. Yeah, DadRandom, guys. DadRandom. That is my man right there from Utah. So let's see. We go quick through the chat right here. It's almost 3 o'clock already. So let's see. Where was I? Oh my God, you guys texted so much and I was talking story. So, okay, right here, Mike Miller. The quad charger that comes with the Evo 2 sucks. It takes 6 hours to charge your batteries. Mine's never take that long. This one is charging almost an hour. The battery was completely depleted right before I started the stream. So it's been an hour and the battery is almost full. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. No way Skydio will come out with a sub 250 drone. I don't know. I mean, it's possible for them to do it. I mean, yeah, they're pretty much on the Skydio's niche is autonomous. Yeah, it is that they are autonomous obstacle avoiding drones. You can't fit that tech into a sub 250 drone. You might be able to do partially, maybe. Just let me leave my hopes up, man. 87 knots, aka 100 miles per hour. There's a Hanatora charger on Amazon for $55 that will charge 3 Evo 2 batteries in 110 minutes. Oh wow. Yeah, so I think that's the charger that my friend gets. He has 2 of them and they're really good. and quick. Alpha 9, totally agree with you, Mike. Skydio probably won't consider it. Nah, that might be, but they might. It's 50-50 chance, okay, guys? The crocodile, okay, we went through that one already. Lee Bessing says, at Mike Miller, I bought that third-party charger from my E2P, and it works great. See? Yeah, so that's the $50 or $60 one, the charger that my buddy has, and he has two of them, and they're really, really good. So let's see what else. I tested my charger, my car charger today, not 5 hours. It was 2 hours from 20%. Yeah, so the car charger thing, I don't know. That thing is like, in my eyes, is totally useless. It's really, really, really slow, guys. So the car charger is not, I mean, if you check out my accessory live stream or accessory video, the car charger is, I never recommend it because it's kind of, I don't know, it's too slow for me. Does using a third-party charger avoid the warranty at all? No, it doesn't. It's just because how are they going to prove that you use the aftermarket one? They recommend to use only Autel licensed products or made by Autel products to keep it all together, to avoid situations where you get on faulty charger and you blow out your battery. The question will be, are they going to be able to prove that your battery, you know, they're giving you a warranty on your battery, no matter how it went bad, you know, that spark could have started with your charger. It could have been in here. It could have been wherever. You know, if you want to change out your batteries, I don't think Autel is going to go through the extent to have you prove that the battery was damaged throughout this stuff. It's too much hassle. So I don't think it voids the warranty. But I might be wrong. I'm just saying I don't think so. I bought the rugged bundle with 3 batteries, so it works okay for me. I also have the Autel car charger, only 1 battery at a time, but better than nothing. Yeah, it's better than nothing, but I usually have like all 4 batteries fully charged when I go out. Then I have a total flight time of almost 2 hours, and that's a lot of flight time. Especially if you fly like 15 minutes each every time, you still have some charge left to get started, to get your shot situated, bring the drone back, swap out the battery, do the shot. Then you're happy with the shot, and you switch location, you go to another shot. So it gives you a total of 2 hours of flight time. 2 hours of flight time is a lot of time, guys. That's an enormous a lot of time. So let's see. Probably no snow in Hawaii. There is snow in Hawaii, my friend. I made a video about it. There is snow in Hawaii. Check it out on my channel. I've got the same YX charger for my Mavic Pro and Mavic 2 Pro. Oh, okay. March 1st, 2021 is when the new test goes into effect. Okay. That was during the time we was talking about the testing. I have them for my Mavic Platinum. Remote Pilot 101 is not my favorite. Leah says, Remote Pilot 101 is not my favorite. Well, like I said, it's personal preference, you know. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Thanks, Mike. I was looking at that, but I'm afraid to use Autel chargers. Don't be afraid to use Autel chargers. Autel chargers are fine. Hot Rod says, I bought a Fieldword LUT 7 2200 nits monitor. Can use it with LifeDeck or Miracast, my tablet, from any drone to it. How cool is that? How much, if you don't mind me asking, how much is that thing? Fieldword LUT 7. I have a computer. Let's look it up, guys. Let's look it up. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Share. There you go. So let's look it up. Google. And let's go. Fieldword. Please said Fieldword LUT 7 2200 nits. The triple tack tablet that I, oh wow, that's pretty cheap. Shows up over here for the buy, like inch bright, super bright. So that is if you just want to go with a screen that you can hook up. This is the one right here, $269.99, guys. Fieldword LUT 7-inch ultra bright, 2200 nits touchscreen. Camera dish off field monitor with 3D LUT. So you're gonna be able to probably hook it up to your. Oh, okay, I see. Down there is the hookup. So it's pretty much like the screen that you're gonna have because it's a touch screen and stuff. You're gonna be able to utilize it. So apparently you're gonna be able to utilize it for your drone. So that means you can install third-party apps on it, because that is one of the things that I really like about the Triple Tech, because it's pretty much just like a huge Android phone that has 1200 nits. And based on my experience, when you look at my video that is coming out next week, I tried my cell phone next in characteristic to this. And even on the camera that has a polarized ND filter on top, I couldn't see my screen. It was so bright. The sun was so bright. I held them next to each other, and you could see easily with the 1200 nits of this screen right here. You could constantly see the screen, and you could not see anything of my phone screen. So that's why I'm totally spoiled with this triple tech, and I will have to probably convince my wife to sort of like invest in something like this. Plus, it feels great. It is heavy. I have to say it is a really heavy monitor, but it is also like this military grade kind of drop, dust proof, waterproof, kind of not all resistant, dust resistant and water resistant. It's like a tough book, just a tough tablet, you know. But it's really, I really like it. I totally love it. So okay. Got to go. Time to film. Go some Alaskan sunset. Oh, Alaskan sunset. Beautiful. What's up there, Batuna? What's up, my man? Bob. Use a marine battery and an inverter with your regular charger. Okay. Just wanted to say, what's up, brother, from Tampa, Florida. This is Chris. What's up, Chris? How you doing, my man? And then we have Lee F. People don't think it can be cold in Hawaii, but it does. Yeah, it's freaking super cold. It was, I think we had a blizzard warning the other day up there, so on the mountain. So they closed all the roads. Nobody could go up to the observatory area. So Hot Rod said, yeah, 259. That's why I looked it up for us. I think that it's just a monitor. Yeah, it's just a monitor. It does pretty much like that. You can just see the thing. I like the triple tech because I can use it for my DJI. I can use it for my Autel, and I can use it for my Paradarafi. And I show that all in the review video that is coming out next week. So I got a Mars Screen G9 Plus so that I can wireless connect tablets or phones to it. That's nice. You have a lot of money. You have too much money. There's no such thing as too much money, guys. The idea is to put that monitor on a tripod next to me so others can see it and I can see it. Yeah. So that's why I really like about this. So if I unplug this, let me unplug this real quick. So if I unplug my wire right here, and because I have the Skyfire aerial, so if I want to just transfer it over, the cool part is I'll just take it off of this. And so now, because the clamp that Skyfire came up with is going to stay here, so there's like a 1/4 inch right here, and there's a 1/4 inch underneath. So if you want, you can put it onto a ball head that has the 1/4 inch right there onto a tripod, or you can mount it wherever else you want on a different mount for whatever mount you have. And I know that Skyfire is going to come out with multiple more mounts for probably DJI mounts and all that stuff. So they're probably going to be working on that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a whole interchangeable system. So I guess they started off with this whole Autel Autel controller. And then from there on out, it goes wherever. They're really good. Skyfire is bangers. They work day and night on their stuff, and they're really, really good. And as soon as they heard in one of our announcements that I'm going to get a triple tech tablet, they came up and they said, oh, we created a mount for it. Do you want it? I say, sure, I'll try it out. And it's amazing. It's super sturdy. So let's see. MNT says, bro, the Dragonfish only costs between 16K and 30K depending on the imaging packages. No, as far as I heard, it was like, I think it was 150,000, bro. So spend him a coffee for the next monitor. Thank you. The coffee donation actually goes to coffee, guys, if you believe it or not. So you also have a phone, Triple Tech Pro Rocks. Yes. Yeah, I have a phone, but I'm so spoiled now. If it's that cheap, might buy one. The Triple Tech is cheaper than DJI Crystal Sky has the 5.5 inch, which is the regular brightness, and that one is like $500. Then the Crystal Sky has the 7.68 or 6.9 inch, which is like $800. And then you have the Triple Tech, the Crystal Sky super brightness, which is like 2,000 nits, but that thing is like $1,000. The Triple Tech itself works just like an Android phone, so you can throw Free Flight 6, Autel Explorer app, DJI Fly. You can throw all those things on top, and you can just use it. The good part is you even can throw a SIM card in here and make it like a regular phone. It's like an Android phone. That's what this thing is, just with 1,200 nits. And it's really good, and it's really solid and really heavy. And that's why I like it, because it's interchangeable with all the drone systems that I have available here. and that's the reason why I really like it. And the functionality, I like the way it responds, even though it has that matte flat. I'm taking away too much. It's off for the review, guys. Come on, guys. Anyway, that monitor has HDMI out, so you could run that to goggles for FPV that people could use while I'm flying too. Ooh, I had goggles on the other day, FPV goggles. I almost threw up. And I was watching somebody else fly. So, anyways, yeah, it's dang, it's already 3:10, guys. So we went pretty much through it. I do it real quick. I'm looking for X Dynamics Evolve 2. It is a $3,800 drone or $3,600 drone, but it's pretty much like the cheaper version of the DJI Inspire with a Micro Four Thirds camera. Looking forward to that. DJI Mavic Mini, no, DJI Mavic 3, probably, hopefully by the end of August or September this year. Rumors are there. Phantom 5 might be another one that's going to come out. Questionable if they're going to do it because of this whole remote ID. And definitely, probably, subcategory 250 grams is the future of drones. That's pretty much like sums it all up for this entire 1 hour. We had DadRandom here, and I appreciate all you guys for coming, and I totally appreciate you guys being here all the time, checking out my videos, commenting on my videos. Plenty of my review here, I credited a lot of you guys that actually emailed me and that send me stuff, informational wise and all that stuff, and what to take in consideration, because I asked you guys in my community tab. I really appreciate that you guys are so active in my community tab as well. If you haven't done so already, go over to my channel, check out the community tab. I always have polls inside there. You're gonna have influence on how my channel is gonna, in what direction it's gonna go, because I'm gonna always ask, coming up with ideas. Okay, I'm looking at these. Which ones do you guys want to see next? Next on the list that we have definitely is gonna be the what you call that? The back to basics. Things to do before you fly your Autel Evo 2. That was part of the voting because there was an enormous, I think like 65 people voted. That's crazy. That's huge for somebody like me. That's huge. I'm not buying another camera. You guys seen the poll already, probably inside the community tab. I'm not gonna consider buying another camera because it's just not needed. I just figured I wasn't sure, because for me personally, sometimes I look at my footage and I want to provide the best quality for my viewers. Mike Miller, what are you doing? Thank you very much, Mike Miller. Mike Miller, $5 donation for the coffee. I appreciate that. But I have a coffee link too if you want the coffee link. So I appreciate that, Mike Miller. So so that is going to be the next video that is going to come out. That is the back to basics. After that one is going to be the review on that Triple Tech tablet right here. Stay tuned for that one as well. And hey, Super Bowl tomorrow. I hope you guys' team wins. If it's not your team, I hope you guys have fun at the party. Don't drink and drive. Don't forget, COVID-19 is still out there to get you. So if you do mingle around other people, make sure that you know these guys and that you don't catch COVID. And if you do be out there, be a nice human, wear your mask and wash your hands. I love you all. Take it easy. Aloha, everybody.